Hello everyone, my name is David Solorzano Segovia, and this is my presentation for the substructure repair and rehabilitation. This is one of my projects. I work for the Indiana Department of Transportation as a project manager, and this project was given to me in mid-2021. The duration of each of the projects I get from INDOT is somewhere between 2 to 5 years, because there is some work that has to be done first with the design portion of the project. Then it jumps into the construction part. So there is some transitioning from one place to the other. It takes time, and I would like to explain that in a future video. For now, I would like to share with you two very important things that as a project manager I've recognized or I've learned in these projects. The first one is that there is a cost-benefit analysis, and I would like to explain that with you, and also the milestones. So first, the cost-benefit analysis. There are certain expenses that take place in each of the projects. Specifically for this one, there's some design codes that have been assigned to different years. A portion of the cost goes to 2021, then 2022, and then 2023. This is based on the percentage of completion of the plans, the design plans. So it's distributed in that way. Something similar with right-of-way, utilities, railroad, as the money that gets distributed or given to the different agencies is given by completion of work. Construction, that budget remains in the same pot, like in its own pot of money, until the construction time comes. That's when it's given to the contractor who is in charge of building the design. Me as a project manager, I get a salary from INDOT, but that also means that I designate time not only before the project gets constructed, but also after, as shown here, and in that way ensuring that everything is being done correctly, not only the design or construction part, but also the aftermath, the legal status of the project, and every other point of work that has to be done from there on. I have also included some of the costs in the other graph, net costs. So just to give us an idea, this is not a very complicated project, but it's really good to help us understand a little bit more the way things work. Well, one of the things I've noticed is that INDOT is really good thinking ahead in some of the consequences that this project may have, not only for our institution, but also for the people that we serve, which are the taxpayers. First, we see each project as an investment. Investment because if we don't do the work that's being done, more work, more complicated work, and more expensive work will have to be done in a few more years. Because in this case, each bridge has its own life, a certain period of years until the bridge becomes unusable or not safety enough to allow others to use the bridge. So by taking action, we are reducing the amount of money and work that's being performed, and in that way extending the life of the bridge. As I mentioned, there are a lot of savings that come from doing this type of interventions, which we're talking about millions of dollars. It's really important that to consider that the stakeholders we have are not only taxpayers, but also the people that use this bridge every single day, or families that travel, animals that go underneath the bridge. There are many people that get benefit from this. And the important thing is that also recognize that there is a quantitative and a qualitative portion of benefits that we get out of each single project, including this one. But now that we have talked about the financial part, or the cost-benefit analysis, I would like to bring up the milestone list, which I also created for this project. And I've included most of the milestones that I account for on every single project, but specifically for this one, such as the project start. That's something that has to be marked. The day, time, for legal purposes, but also for all the work that's being done. We select the designer to perform all this portion of work. We have a field check, which is we go to the place, the bridge that's being worked on, and we evaluate the current situation, and that allows us to perform a more specific job, which help us reduce the scope creep and also any other complications or risks that might manifest in the future. Then the design work gets divided in 3 different stages. Stage 1 is up to 30% of the work, and we make these divisions to as iterations or times when these designs get sent to INDOT, where people that are specialized in this type of work review the plans and let the designer know if things are going good or things are going bad, things can be improved, and that makes things a little easier. So we have stage 1, which is 30% of the design complete. Then we jump into stage 2, which is 60% of the design complete. And from here on, there are certain other milestones that can take place, which are utility coordination, which is contacting the different utility companies that are around the area to make sure we don't have any interference with them. We have railroad coordination. We have to make sure that no railroad companies are in the area or affecting, so we can proceed with the project. We have to verify that if there is any type of water near the construction place, that we're taking the measurements and trying to avoid all the risks so that we don't have any complications with or we don't affect the water in the area, which we do because it's a bridge, so water goes underneath. So we have to coordinate with different organizations, like the Waters of the USA as an example. We have to have the environmental clearance. It's not only about trees, but also the noise that we create. Also the visual noise, which this is something that has to take place before the construction starts. Because we are acquiring right of way, or we are buying different parcels to accommodate for the project, meaning to be able to bring the materials and big machines underneath the bridge, we need to use certain parcels adjacent to the bridge to be able to accommodate that. And we're buying 4 parcels, so there has to be some coordination. As I have marked it here, they are optional, because if you don't buy right of way from them, or if it's temporary, you can jump those steps. So it's very specific to the project. And then you have stage 3, which is 90% to 100% of the total design. And by this point, then we send it to construction, bidding, different contractors analyze the design that has been created, and then they bid to be able to get a project and have the opportunity to construct. From there on, the construction starts, the construction concludes, and we have a meeting of lessons learned that will allow us to improve any other project like this in the future. So this is a project, the milestone list, and I really appreciate your time for this. So have a good rest of your day.